Amazing. All right, let's get into it. We're going to go through everything in like thorough, and then we'll literally use the rest of the time. We've got till 5 to like make a plan of attack for you. Yep. Lean body mass is everything but your bone and your fat. Yours is high, which is because your muscle is high. So it's not really like a direct measure of anything else, okay? Yep. Your muscle mass is awesome. These little ranges here go off of your stats plus recommendations of the World Health Organization. So that's how the algorithm works out. So yours is high, so it's great. Strength, metabolism, all those awesome things, okay? Protein, so that is a reflection of actually the muscle density. Okay. And a really good way to explain that is you compare an elite powerlifter, like the Moose, versus a bodybuilder. There's a difference in appearance, but the elite powerlifter has a higher density of muscle, even though the actual muscle may be smaller in appearance. All right, so yours is really good. Yours is high. High is good, yes. And pretty much anybody that weight trains is going to be high. But it's just a good indication, like, you know, of the different styles of training and how that reflects. It can also be an indication that you're not eating enough protein as well sometimes. Okay. Mineral is a great measure. It measures the nitrogen in your cells. It's a non-direct way of measuring bone density. So it's not actually like directly going, okay, this is the density of your bone. It's giving other indicators that indicate that you have good bone density. So that's great. Again, things like strength training, good diet, protein, so on, is reflecting that, which is good. Your total body of water, 46.6 high, is reflecting that you're hydrated. It's always going to be high, even if you were dehydrated, because of your high muscle mass, fat mass, and all those other things. It will have to be, because muscles, fat, hold a lot of water. All right, so what we look for in this, if you had a massive fluctuation in this when we scanned again in 4-8 weeks or something like that, it could be an indication that you haven't had consistent scan conditions. So we could go, actually, no, let's scrap this scan, let's do it again tomorrow or something like that. Much like if we scanned last week when after the training session we were like, ooh, shit, that would have put everything out, would have put your muscle way higher. Then you did your next scan, you'd be like, I've lost muscle. And things like that. In the morning it would be a lot different, do you reckon? A little bit, not significantly. Yeah, not significantly. Like different times of day, definitely. Like the scan condition changing, it's going to change it, yes. All right, so fat mass is broken up into 2. There's the range there as well. So yours is high. Subcutaneous fat is fat under skin that we can see. And then visceral fat is the fat around the organs. So your visceral fat's actually really good. That's good. Like in perspective to the ranges there, it is good. Visceral fat area is in the optimal, so that's like the spread of it. Total body fat percentage is there as well. So in perspective to this, so we've got the range there, 20 to 30. Yours is 34.3. So it's not far off. Okay. But then you look at your fat mass and it's like, 13 kilos over. There's a big difference there. The reason that your body fat percentage is really good is because you're high muscle. Right, okay. All right. So this is a better statistic to look at. For that same reason. So if you were to actually maintain your body fat and put on muscle, your body fat percentage goes down. Okay. But that's probably not going to go down so much, if that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Yes, kind of. Okay. But if you were to reduce your body fat and maintain your muscle, it would also reduce your body fat percentage. Okay. All right. Now, it gives us a statistic here, visceral fat 1 to 5 being like athletic. 6, or sorry, I think it's 5 to 10 or 5 to 9 or something like that is optimal, and then 10 to 20 is over range. 1 point less and you're into the good range. So that's why I was saying that was a good score for you. Okay, it's like a kilo or 2 off of being like that, being in the healthy range, which is awesome. ICF and ECF, this can get really complicated. I'm going to keep it simple. What you want to do is be a smidge over 65, and you want to be a smidge under 35, not excessively above and over those numbers. So yours is perfect. ICF is an indication that your lymph nodes, your kidneys, your livy's cute. Liver is processing and flushing things around your body appropriately. And then like no, yours is good. Yours is good, like it's spot on. You wouldn't want it to be any higher or any lower. Sorry. Okay. You were saying percentage. I was like, yes. No, percentage for this one. Yeah. Because all this is 30.9 plus 15.7 equals that. Okay. Alrighty. So those aren't anything. Like, that'll always add up to that. Yeah. All right. It's just a difference between the intracellular fluid and the extracellular fluid. So if we cut a bicep in half and we drew a million circles, the fluid in the cells, the circles, and then the ECF is the space between those cells. Okay?
Yeah.
And then if you're scanning above 35% on your ECF, there's a very clear indication that you've got inflammation in your body. And I've already had a scan that I've done with someone that I thought was not sticking to their diet and had inflammation. They were sore but not particularly tight. They scanned 36. I'm like, clear indicator. And I was like, it works. And I was like, you've been lying to me. BMR, basal metabolic rate.
Yep.
So this is what I mentioned before about the rapid fat loss. It puts your calories right down to that.
Right.
Okay, so that's your body's needs in a day to run your muscle, your fat, your organs, if you're just lay in bed all day.
Okay.
So excessive time of you training 5 days a week, working, using your brain and burning calories, you're going to have metabolic adaptation. Otherwise, your body thinks you're going to die.
Right.
Okay, so we want to always be beating above that, essentially.
Yep.
TEE is pretty much saying if you were to keep your same training routine and do everything else the same, eat the same, that's kind of what your body needs.
Okay.
Alrighty, which probably seems quite high.
Yeah.
But we'll go into that a little bit more later.
Yeah.
Segmental analysis, it's put you at upper, lower balance, left to right balance, which is great. So this awesome thing goes through and splits up left and right arm, left and right leg, even with abdominal.
Yeah.
So it's putting your muscle mass on your left and your right arm pretty much perfect, which is good. Something obviously with massive muscle imbalance, we can go, well, let's start doing more dumbbell work or single leg work, all those sorts of things, okay? Your legs are pretty even as well, which is good. You can see muscle mass through your torso, the abs. I'm pretty certain organs and all that sort of stuff count as well as that because they're of that type of tissue. And you can see fat mass in those areas as well. So the beauty of this is we scan again and we're like, wow, 3 kilos of fat down. Where did it come from?
Yeah.
Okay, which is awesome to get that feedback to go, what's happened with this weight change? Then also like, where has it come from?
Yeah.
All right, it's like just better than measurements again and again, you know what I mean? And even if you have a reduction in visceral fat, like you can, that may not show up in measurements.
Yeah.
Like if you heard of the term skinny fat, like someone that's like, doesn't look fat, but they got really high visceral fat, like that may not reflect too much on their measurements sort of thing. So we're like, where's it actually coming off?
Yeah, that's cool.
And that's that. So then we go over to BioAge and Bio Wellness Index. So BMI, I remember when we first met, we had the conversation of how much crock of shit that is.
Yeah.
These are much better because they take into account all 15 of these statistics and your details as well. So let's put your BioAge at 28. Let's put your BWI at 7.4. So 7.4 puts you in the average.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so that's pretty good. So these actually use the same algorithm, okay, but the way that it's presented to you is obviously a little bit different, okay? So obviously with it being 28, we want to make some improvements.
Yeah.
Okay, we want to get that back down.
Yep.
Okay, some people are scanning under as well. So it's definitely achievable. Okay, but you know, this number, to see that improving as an overall is great compared to something like the BMI.
Yeah, cool.
All right. We then go into calories. So compared to something like MyFitnessPal, this is amazing because it's taking into account your muscle mass. You've already told it your body type. You've told it roughly how much activity you're doing. It's got all of this information to then go, okay, this is roughly what your body needs. Sometimes these percentages are going to be a little bit different. Like for myself, I'm an endomorph as well. Is that what endomorph? Yeah, because mesomorph. Yeah, so I'm endo as well, and it spat out similar percentages for me. I know my body goes better on a lower carbohydrate percentage and a higher fat percentage. That's me personally knowing my body on how I feel. I've been sensitive to carbs and all that sort of stuff. Doesn't mean it's wrong. And to be honest, if I ate those macros in a calorie deficit, I would still lose fat. But it's knowing what my body runs best on. The higher carbs, I would be very hungry sort of thing. It'd be just spiking my hunger up and down sort of thing, versus I'd be very steady on that. Okay, and those are things we can experiment with. But ideally, the goal would be now is, okay, well, let's achieve that moderate fat loss goal. Let's go into MyFitnessPal, use these numbers, not what MyFitnessPal gives you, because it'll spit out something stupid.
Something random.
Not even random. It'll be low.
Just like generated.
It'll be low. Like it'll put you under that. And I stressed the importance of that earlier. I don't know. They've just done it for years. It gets results. It's not sustainable.
But yeah, you hear that, like, the typical, like, 1,500 calorie, like,
Yeah.
diet sort of thing.
And like 1,200 calorie diet,
Yeah.
that's the needs of like a 5-year-old or something like that.
Yeah.
And like people doing that for diets when they're adults, weight training, walking, working.
Why they just blow out.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So that's more the range.
Yes.
So that's like, if you're just going to maintain.
That'll be maintained.
Yeah, okay.
That'll be maintained.
Yeah.
That'll be almost muscle gain phase for you.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be like, for lack of a better term, bulking. Sort of thing. Like, okay, I really want to get heaps stronger, want to put on muscle, and then I might go to a fat loss phase. You know what I mean? Like, it's just more that bodybuilding, like bulking, cutting sort of thing. Right now, I think the best goal for you is that moderate fat loss.
Yeah.
Is get this under the 30. That would push the visceral fat into good range, and I think you'd see some really good results with that. So chuck that in MyFitnessPal.
You reckon do you do a range in MyFitnessPal, or do you reckon just put 2,000 in there?
Put 2,000 in there. Do these macros and just put it right in the middle.
Yeah.
But if you're always consistently within 10 or 20% of your macro goals in MyFitnessPal, you're doing great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't need to be to the button.
No.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because like the biggest issue people will have is so many people Monday to Friday undereat.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday.
Splurge. Yeah.
I'm literally writing an article on this like this week.
Yeah.
Like I've been doing it because it's a big issue. The amount of people I've been doing it is like I had one of my clients, like he's a early 90 kilo man. He had 900 calories yesterday.
Shit.
Man, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
Eat something.
no wonder you got a headache today. Like, and then you're going to go and have wine and cheese platter on the weekend.
Exactly.
And then dinner, you've done 1,000 calories on the cheese platter. Then you have dinner, it's probably 900 calories plus what you had for lunch and breakfast. And no wonder you're at 3,500 calories and you're blowing out your percentage. You're blowing out your 2,200 calorie goal sort of thing.
Bad.
Yeah. But it happens.
Oh, yeah.
So in the app, there's probably heaps more stuff as well. How are we going for time? Oh, we're killing it. Good.
I'll have a look at that.
Yeah, jump on. Now this is generic.
Okay.
So that's that goal that spits out this every time.
Right.
There is a personalised one in the app.
Okay.
Alrighty. But if I was to go through, and I'm going to get my highlighter. See if my highlighter works. This is why I wanted the printer to work, because I can highlight stuff for you.
Let's see, last time.
So I want to highlight this one. So this.
Oh, that's today's. Yeah, stuff's definitely gone down. Like,
Yeah.
visceral fat gone down since my last scan. Definitely gained weight since the last one. But like everything was basically high before. Visceral fat was 11 last time.
Oh, cool.
Anyway,
That's good.
personalised.
I'll show you an easier way to go through it. So this, I'm visual. All those numbers just kind of make me stressed. So this is heaps easy to see. So you've put on 2.7 kilos of muscle since your last scan,
Yeah, nice.
which is awesome.
Yep.
With that comes water, with every muscle gained regardless.
Yep.
And you can just see all these little things. So there is a little bit of fat gain over those times.
Yeah.
The visceral fats stay the same. So there's which is a good reflection. There's partly genetics that comes into that.
Yeah.
Partly means also that you're not eating complete shit. Like someone that eats complete shit will have a higher visceral fat.
Yeah.
Like you're probably maybe overeating portions of better foods,
Probably.
which is very likely with that.
Yeah.
And we could keep going with all this. It sort of compares everything.
Yeah.
But the real nuts and bolts is up here. All right, and that's just an easy way to see it. You can go into all your sheets to compare if you want.
Yep.
I thought I'd go through and highlight those for you. They're the two biggest things.
Yep.
We want to maintain this. We want to reduce that.
Yep.
And then I thought I'd go through and the supplements that I recommend because I'm not a big recommender. Like I don't recommend thermogenic powders and fat burners heaps. Like without sounding biased, like the Primabolics one is good because it has some stuff for the thyroid.
Yeah.
Outside of that, it's the same as everything else.
Yeah.
It just gives you caffeine to sort of stimulate extra energy. But I do like the thyroid side of things because that has a big impact on it.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one fat burning ingredient, it's acetyl-L-carnitine. Do you know what that does?
I've used it before, but not really.
So what it does, it helps to mobilize brown fat cells. They're very stubborn. It's also something that the ice bath does.
Yep.
Mobilize brown fat cells to be used in the mitochondria, which is like the energy channel. Powerhouse of the cell. Good, yes. It helps to like get fat burn and going through that system, and make your body better and more efficient at it, which is ideally what we want. We're in a fat loss phase. What do we want to burn? We need to burn fat.
Yeah.
Helps with that. It's not going to change your life. It's not going to take that and you're going to fix all your issues. Yeah. Even a calorie surplus, you're still in a calorie surplus. 100% protein doesn't need to be isolate, like some sort of good way. You got to get to 150. Yeah. So that's 4 meals at 35 grams, roughly. You know, like it's a fair chunk. All right. And who has time for 4 meals? I don't. You got ISO ripped?
Yeah.
Cool. That's just heaps.
I've been having that at the Nardo after the gym.
Yep, and that's really good. So keep that in there, even on rest days. Your body's still got to recover on the rest days. That's probably when it does most of the recovery. Branched chain amino acids, don't waste your money. L-glutamine isn't a waste of money, but it's like it's the most abundant of every amino acid. It's not really necessary. Okay. Lean protein snacks, whatever. If you like them, they're not going to hurt you, but don't go out and go, oh my god, the scan sheet said buy these.
No,
not that important. I'm an avid for greens. I use it every day. I consider it like my vitamin and mineral insurance. You can get high quality multivitamins. I'd probably say 90% of the ones on the market are cold press and they're not bioavailable, so they're not actually used. Like they kind of get pissed out straight away. They don't align with the stomach tract. They don't get used. Usually ends up a waste of money. All right.
What's the greens powder that you have?
Everyday Health. So there's 2 on the market that are good. They come a long way. I've had greens probably for the last 4 or 5 years, well before like they were trendy. They tasted like the earth then.
I can't do like a drink that doesn't taste good.
Yeah, so when Morgan first met me, I was having greens. I got her to taste it and she thought it was the most atrocious thing ever. She has these greens. So it has come a long way in that. So there's 2 on the market that I recommend though. There's Everyday Health and there's Vitality Switch. They're the 2 ones. So you get the other one from Best Body. Just like try. Like we've got samples out there today. So try the Everyday Health. See what that's like. If you like it, great. If not, there's like just a few little differences to how they're flavored, the Vitality. Either way, they're both high quality products. So like really, really good. And that's pretty much it.